Hello. What's up, everybody? Well, everybody, it's just, there's 5 of us now. Well, hello, everybody. I hope you're all well. It'll be kind of a casual night tonight. We'll do our video, our replay, and hang out a little bit. I don't know how long I'll last. It's been a long week. Still a little longer to go. I hope everybody's having a good Friday night. Hope everybody joins us tomorrow night. And we got snow. We were only supposed to get like a little bit. We end up getting like 3 inches, which is nice because I've been wanting snow. Maybe I'll get to go sledding tomorrow. Hello, John P. How you doing? And Ryan, how you doing, sir? I hope everybody's good. Good to see you guys. Not a lot, Ryan. It's been an interesting week, let's put it that way. But yeah, not much. Other than Tuesday, I've been very busy, man. Thanks, John P. Grr. A lot of love out there. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm just chilling. It was kind of nice to be on tonight. I had to blow Wednesday off. I'm just tired mentally. I love you too, bud. Bless you. Yeah, it's been a little longer to go. We're in the grading process. If you guys don't know, I lost my little brother Saturday. Last Saturday. He's in Kentucky, and we had to wait till the kids sign off on his body. And so we're just waiting now for him to get up here so we can put him to rest. Thanks. Hey, you're fine. Enjoy. Like I said, in here in a little bit, about 12:30. Hopefully, when a little more people come in, I'm gonna do a replay of one of our older videos tonight. We've been doing some of her Fae stuff, so I'm gonna be doing the infestation of the red dwarves of Detroit, one of her older videos. So nothing like little red guys running around. Yeah, thanks, Ryan. That was rough. Didn't do it in a very good way. So, but yeah, we'll get him to rest. And most of us have healed already. Now we're just waiting so we can put him to rest. I got into tonight was crazy. I was talking to his kids. I haven't talked to his kids since they were like 12 years old. His oldest daughter since she was 12 years old. Now his son I've seen. That's his middle. And then he has a younger son. But yeah, they're dealing. So thanks. I do appreciate it. Hey Chris, how you doing, sir? If you're not busy Monday, hope you can join me on Monsters on the Edge. Maybe we'll cheer you up. I'd appreciate that. Thank you. I'll save that link and come and watch you. I should be around. What time? Monday. What time was that? If you're not busy Monday. I know Gemma has her 11 a.m. Premiere video that I always try to make it for. Sometimes I'm late, but I'm usually there. And then she does her members only, which is open to everybody. I think she'll do at noon, depending on how she does it this time. Yeah, Chris is a regular. Good old Chris. Mr. Jarvis. I hope you're well, good man. 11 a.m., I believe. Oh, so I'll have to do her video, then run over and watch the end of your show. So you're going to have to give me if I'm a little late. The boss comes first. But yeah, I'll be there. As soon as I'm done with her, I'll be over. You can count on that. Just watched Deadpool Wolverine trailer. Yeah, I can't wait for that. I just hope it looks as good as it looks. I'm sure it will be. I guess Madam Web didn't do too good. I knew it wouldn't. I think it was like, I felt bad for everybody who was involved in that movie. It's just awful. No, I'll be there. I'll be in chat. I'll be there. That's for sure. I'll just be right over after she's done with the video. It's just a premiere video. So it'll probably be about, she's a gabber, so I love her rambling. So she'll be anywhere between 15 and 20 minutes. So I'll be over right after this video's done. Yeah, I'll come over. I enjoyed your one show. It's just a shame you didn't have more viewers, but it looked like they got more views afterwards. So I felt bad for those guys. But then you guys are having a hell of a conversation. I was sharing it out like crazy. Just watched it on Shadowbot. Now, you just watched the trailer, right? You didn't watch the whole movie. What other movie are you talking about? Did I miss something? They better bring Sabretooth back. Now, the Sabretooth in the first X-Men movie, I liked that. He looked good in that. Could have been a little more hairier. Oh, thank you, Jim. So thank you so much. And I hope you're well tonight. Hey, good guy chat. I hope some of the ladies come in. I'd like to see Cindy Lee. I hope Edna's feeling good enough to stop in. I'd love to see her. I didn't get to talk to her Tuesday. Yeah, Madam Web. Oh my God, it's just Madam Web. Yeah, everybody. I was going to go see it, and I was like, nah, I'm not going to waste my money. Something told me not to waste my money, so I'm not going to. The sad thing is, I got stuck with Morbius with Venom Carnage. When I bought that movie, it came with Morbius. So I finally watched Morbius. I was a little disappointed. I mean, it was bad. They had an idea. They just didn't follow through. Now, let's see what Morbius and Blade and Morbius is going to be like if they actually pull it off. Did you hear about the dude who got arrested watching? No, I have not. What? Tell me more, please, before we start the video. I didn't see that. I'll have to go look. I hope he didn't do nothing bad. God only knows. In this day and age, I have to watch how I ask that question. What did he get arrested? He was doing something he probably shouldn't. Oh my God. That's funny. That is funny. Thank you for making me laugh. Oh, jeez. No. People, man. Cindy Lee, hello, dear. Thank you, my dear. And I appreciate that. I know you're going through a lot too, hon, so lots of love in a lot of ways. Let's just put it that way. Appreciate it. And I appreciate you. And the memes, the Valentine's memes, were just, you did that at the right time. TV is looking good. 2 weeks. Now, Last Airbender, we'll see. I'm not gonna put any stake in that. Shogun, I'm waiting for. I want to see that. The Bad Batch doesn't look too bad. Those Who Lived, I don't know much about that one. X-Men 97, they're already dumping on. So we'll have to see about that because I love the original cartoon. But we'll see if it's any good. Somebody said they kind of messed with it, so we'll wait and see. And I know I'm an old man. I still dig the old stuff. If you're gonna bring it back, do it right. That's all I gotta say. They took away Rogue says, yeah, I saw that. So of course you knew they were gonna do that. But I hope you're having a good night, Cindy. I hope everything's going good. How's the little one doing? But yeah, I'm actually ready. I want to see Shogun. I'm waiting for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Deadpool. Those Those who live in the Walking Dead series about Rick has been the best. Yeah, my son's all excited about this new setup. So, yeah, that's what it's about. It's about Rick. Okay. Yeah, because he was talking about it. He must have been talking about that. So I lost interest. Sorry to say, with Walking the Dead, I just got zombied out. Oh, of course, I'm ready for Godzilla Kong. Oh, after that last preview, and I try not to watch too much of that stuff because I try to go in fresh as much as possible. I did with Godzilla -1, and I loved that movie. It was so good. It was like a retelling of the first, and it was so well done. And to see it in black and white, I finally got to see it in black and white. And I was like, oh, thank you. You made a man happy. I'm okay and still doing little man. He still refused to go home. Just give him time, honey. You're going to have to all sit down with him eventually. You know that. Just hang in there. Hang in there with him. He's still adjusting too. Yeah, black and white was just awesome. It was perfect. Actually, I liked it better black and white. Man, at some points I had goosebumps. That's how much of a Godzilla fan I am. Yeah, I grew up with the big guy. Him and Batman. Or comic books. I was more of a DC guy. And my dad had a lot of his old stuff, so I got a lot of, I had a lot of his Red Riders and some of the cowboy comics, and he had a bunch of the original Sergeant Slaughters, and not Sergeant Rocks. New Transformer this year too, done by the same company the last two. Origin side. Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how those do. I kind of liked Bumblebee. That movie was actually not bad. But see, I'm a popcorn movie. If I can sit back and enjoy it and lose myself in it and have a good time with it, I'm good. But I will recognize crap when I see it. I'm getting used to him. Yeah, I bet you are. It's probably nice company. Hearing musical cues from Gojira versus gave me, oh, I know. And that music was perfect in that whole movie. You couldn't ask for a better soundtrack. It was just awesome. Called Transformers 1. Is that what they're calling it? What, Alfred? Why do you wear dark colors, sir? So I don't get shot at. Alfred, why does Robin wear bright colors? So they shoot at him instead. I've heard that one. Yeah, I didn't know what it was called yet. So it is called Transformer 1. Cool. I hope Cindy, as long as you two are happy right now, that's what he needs. Give him time. And I'm sure you're getting used to him being around. Just like me and Little Man. I'm getting used to meeting with him toward the end of the day to play about an hour and a half of video games with him. It's become kind of a ritual now. Yeah. So I don't get shot. Yeah. Have you seen the Bat Metal cartoons? Have you guys, any of you guys, seen the Bat Metal cartoons? They're hilarious. Oh, I love that. I sent them to some girl on Facebook. She had never seen them before. And she's a Batman fan. So I sent them to her. She was like, holy crap, these are so good. Dude, go pull up Bat Metal. They are the best cartoon. The first one's them jamming. They're a heavy metal band. And it's the whole Bat family. It's awesome. And then they have a little series that goes with it. It's awesome. It got a rude, but it's funny. I couldn't show it on here if I wanted to. I'd probably get tagged. Copyrighted. Yeah, see, Ryan knows them. They're great, man. I'm surprised that a lot of the people I've been introducing them to get a kick out of them. They're like, holy crap, these are awesome. I go, yeah, they're Russian made, aren't they? And they makes them from Russia or something like that. I'm not sure. But they are awesome. I just love them so much. It's like, yeah, this is the way it should be. If you're gonna make fun of Batman, this is the way you do it. I had the one song stuck in my head from the first one, and then I had to walk away from it for a while. Did you notice the coffee cup and the cigarette and the? And yes, I did. My dad and my little brother pointed. She knows you. There's the coffee cup. There's a cigarette. Yep. Did you see my merch? That coffee cup she made for me was awesome. And the jersey, the hoodie I got. And now I'm gonna get some Gemma stuff too, because I got Gemma stuff, but I couldn't resist getting my shirt. And she really did a nice job with the Dragon CW on the sleeve. And then I had her put the GemmaJadeYT YouTube on the other side, which I thought was a good touch. And it does. That dragon looks good on black and white. Man, it looks good. Tennille picked the dragon out. I like the fact they put a little padlock on his neck. But yeah, those cartoons are great. I could probably show those because those are not anything copyrighted. There's no, well, I could show the one where the music's to it, but I won't do that one. Let's see if I can find them. I know I can't. I don't know if everybody saw them. Ooh. It's been a long week, folks. Bear with me. Come here, where are you guys? Here we go. There's Gemma, so I'm not going to do the music. With the music. Oh, here we go. Okay. Let me see if we can do this right. Oops. Oh, that's right. I'm sharing screens. Stop. No. Bear with me. Okay, here we go. Okay. Share. I'm missing conversation because I'm playing. Okay. There's the GemmaJadeYT one. I love that. Have a Publilicious Valentine's. That's classic. That's classic. Hello, Area 51. Finally finished my G.I. Joe classified Cobra characters collection. 3 years and 1,000 bucks. Oh my gosh, God, dude. I gave Pops the bacon. Yeah, he loved it. Actually, he snickered under his breath. Yeah, he got a giggle out of that. And then, hold on. How can I do this? Can I? Will let me? And then there's the little man. That's the little man. Gemma's little boy. And then here's mine. The coffee cup and the smoke was actually a good touch. How you doing, Area? I hope you're having a good Friday. We're just showing the stuff that good old Cindy, the memes that Cindy Lee made for us. See you on the flip side. And then that's my Pops. He got a big giggle out of that. I don't know if Cindy got to see all these or not. I know she loves Pops ones and her boys. So, but yeah, there you go. That's classic. But yeah, yes, hope you are as well. I'm having one. It's getting better. Now I'm hanging out with you guys. Yeah, I missed everybody Wednesday night. My son was like, if you're going to stream with her Thursday, take a break tonight. Take another break tonight. Rest. Get your head together. Which it is. He worries about me. And just relax. So, yeah, we're just chilling. I'm just chilling, sir. As we're doing, I'll start the video here in a little bit. We're just having a good conversation, so I'm just rolling with it. All mean on Valentine's Day, it's through 1,000 voices who crying out. It's suddenly silenced. Nah. But yeah, we're doing good. But hopefully get him taken care of and I can feel a lot better. But I have to say it was like a weight getting off my back. So yeah. Getting him home is just big. Now we're just waiting for we can get him home so we can get him taken care of. But we'll start the video here. I don't want to go with the rest of it. But yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm surviving. Much better than I had been. It was nice talking to his kids too, so that was a big pleasure. I hadn't seen him for years, so it was nice to starting to get to know him again. Myself prepped up here. Yeah, the video tonight will be the Red Dwarfs. It's 23 minutes, so it'll be a nice little break. I can enjoy a smoke while you guys chat. I let her do her talk. Hold on. And we'll start that here in a minute. But I hope everybody's doing good. I got 12 people in there. Hello, 12 people. Thank you for joining us. Like I said, I'm getting ready to start the video here soon. And it's about the Red Dwarfs of Detroit. It's one of my favorite videos of her. And when she first started out, I liked it because she was so. She still, she does research. She could probably do an hour video easy. Maybe I should talk her into doing an actual documentary video. You could tell I'm and put it on Rumble. That way she doesn't have to worry about being too careful and do some exclusive stuff for her Rumble channel. So we can get that rocking. I got to get back on there and post some more videos. I haven't been able to. Ryan, all the men must stay off the internet this summer. Taylor Swift and Beyonce are going to do an album. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so obnoxious. If you anger the Swifties and the Beehive, you get who cares? Oh, I pick on them for the fun of it. This Taylor Swift crap. She's going to break just like Britney did. That's my view. Taylor Swift will have her day and she'll end up just like Britney Spears. And if not worse. I'm re-saying the R word. I am. I got to be careful, but I'm doing it. Because I do want to get her moved over there. I'm not all totally, but I think she'd be a lot more freer and more comfortable with some of the stuff that she likes to do. And they're cracking down here. I mean, I'm doing everything I can to pick up her algorithm, and it's not. It's just barely moving. So I'd like to get her a little bigger. Anyways, when you do a platform stuff like this, you should always be on all media like this if you can. If I can get her on Rumble, I was thinking about posting some stuff on Odyssey and see how it does. No, it's not. Excuse me, guys, for the noises. Pardon me. No, I've been with YouTube ever since the beginning, and it's not, and it's just getting worse. They're greedy, controlling. Sorry, Susan, but that's a fact. We've had our problems before, right, Susan? People probably don't even remember. But anyways, yeah, I'll stick with YouTube because I still love it. There's still great content, but when they're censoring everything you can say, pretty much, it's not fun. They play with the algorithm. I mean, you get unsubbed from people unexpectedly. It kind of cracks me up how I'll go back and go through my sub and like, where'd this person go? And then I have to go back and resub. They call it cleaning house, trying to get rid of the unnecessary stuff. So yeah, I mean, I don't want her to stop. She got her name here, so you want to keep it. But she can go somewhere and be a little more freer in her conversation, which would be nice. I'm still trying to figure. I just got busy all of a sudden because I was working on getting a live stream up and doing a test live stream over there, and see how it goes. because basically Rumble is becoming a live streaming platform. I mean, there's videos over there, but people do a lot better over there on Rumble's live streaming because you get to keep your tips. You know, they don't take half your tips and they don't take half your income off of the replays and stuff. So yeah, I ordered my Ghostdragonzw. I haven't gotten it yet. Give it time. You're not that far away. It won't take long. It only took her like, it was funny because I literally got my stuff Valentine's Day. And now she took a little time getting me mine because I had her add the Gemma Jade. See, that's not on the sleeve. So I had her add it on. I hope she keeps them like that. Because Arisha's fantastic. She's such a great lady. And then she sent me the coffee cup. But I love my hoodie. It fits good, wears good, and it looks good. That she did a beautiful job with it. Kind of got that press on look, and it looks so nice. It's got a nice sheen to it, dragon. But it took me a little longer because I had her do a cup for my son. That was the Japanese painting scene that's on the cup in the video in the Facebook picture. He ordered that, and now he's gonna have her order another one. He had a set of pictures he liked, and he wanted them done. So he wanted it on a big, huge mouse pad, but she didn't have the big ones, which is fine. I was thinking about having a blanket or something like that done for him. She does blankets. I mean, the blankets she sent Gemma and some of the other stuff I've seen her done are just amazing. And she does custom work. You can send her pictures and she can put them all on a blanket like she did for her mom. Oh, it was nice. It's nice. Mr. Bowen did a live stream this week on Discord. He was on Rumble soon. He'll be on Rumble soon. Oh yeah. Dude, these guys are starting to learn now. And it's good to be on more than one platform. But yeah. And bigger he becomes, the more YouTube's going to take from him. So yeah. It's probably a wise move. And keep, I mean, you always want to keep streaming on YouTube. It's still one of the biggest platforms. The biggest platform. Well, it's losing ground. So is she doing kid size? Yeah, she does kid size. She has kid stuff. Oh, yeah, she definitely has kid stuff. She has some really nice stuff. And she can pretty much do on anything. So, yeah, go to her website. Go to Jive Creations. She's got a little bit of everything on there. It's a neat, nice website. She's probably one of the best in prices. But, yeah, I mean, she did fantastic work on his cup. She even warned him that the picture might be a little pixelated. It looks great from a distance, but you can tell when you hold it up close. Giles still loves it. And he says, well, I'll see if I can find her a better picture to do. So, because it wasn't her fault. It was the picture he sent. His biggest platform is Amazon. Yeah, because of his pod screens. Yeah. Because I'll tell you what, he grew and he grew fast. But he's got that voice. He's like Stockton. There's a group of those guys that just have that voice and that charm and that charisma. When they tell a story, they do a good job telling a story. I love him. I watch Ballin' all the time. I've been watching ever since he started. I stumbled on him, and I was like, God, this guy's great. I loved him. But yeah, let's start this video. It's 23 minutes. I'll probably stop close to the end because we're rambling, and a lot of it's older stuff. So the chapter is second to him. Oh, is it? Okay. Let me start this video. I'll rock with you in chat while I smoke a smoke. Okay, let's get this going. There it is. Nope. There it is. Let me pull it up so I can get it going here. Share. Let me make sure you guys let me know if the sound is good, okay?
You guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, just welcome. My name is GemmaJadeYT, but today we are going to once again be discussing fairies. But this isn't the Missing in the Fae Part 3. Not yet. Don't be disappointed. It's coming. This is the video I've been promising you about the one major US city who has had a specific kind of fae infesting their land since before colonization. Let's start this off by saying, as we know, there's a legend or several legends of the Fae across every culture all throughout the world. I mean, we know that from the missing of the Fae. We know that, right? From our research together, from my research, from Steve's. You'd be hard pressed to find a country who didn't have at least one legend of the little people. In almost all of these countries, there's a huge belief in fairies and an even bigger belief in respecting them and all that is unknown. I came across some information, however, that there is a specific place right here in the United States where there is a particular infestation of little people. These fairies have seemingly been seen all over the city and have been wreaking havoc and reveling in the bloodshed in Detroit, Michigan for centuries, more than centuries, even since it seems to me the beginning of time itself. This isn't just fairy tales and folklores, though, guys. This goes way beyond the tales and legends you've heard of when you were young and perhaps hearing more and more about nowadays, when the veil between here and the unknown seems to be thinning more and more as each second ticks by. Oh no. There have been actual reported sightings throughout the ages, right back to the earliest settlements of the land. No, actually, even further back than that, as the Native Americans who were already here when the colonists came over have also reported many sightings of these bloodthirsty little creatures. I don't use that adjective lightly, though, mind you. It seems, though, that this is exactly how the fairies seem to be bloodthirsty, and they're bloodthirsty for human blood. They thrive on and celebrate the bloodshed. They revel in the pain and suffering of the humans all around them, and they taunt us when we least expect it. This specific type of fae or little person is known to be called as the Nain Rouge, and I could be pronouncing that wrong. I'll just go ahead and call it its English translation, the Red Dwarf. Gnomes and dwarves, while very different, are in this story seemingly interchangeable. Though it is called a dwarf, I have seen pictures and heard the descriptions and am confident in my assessment that it is, in fact, a gnome. Yes, I'm confident that the Nain Rouge, the little dwarf, is actually a gnome. From what I know about the difference between gnomes and dwarves, but that's neither here nor there. You guys can picture it in your head, right? Not like the friendly and smiling little garden gnomes we see everywhere in people's back and front yards and gardens, which, by the way, I reiterate yet again and will continue to do so in every single video about the Fae where it comes up. It's a really bad idea and will draw some bad juju to you should you continue to use these types of totems in and near your homes. And yes, Elf on a Shelf does definitely count. This story begins with the Ottawa tribe, who have their origins in and around the land which would eventually come known to be Detroit. Detroit back then in this time was a kind of wild land, an untamed wilderness inhabited solely by native tribes. They didn't colonize the same way as the English, and much of the land and nature was left to stay as it was. You have to understand the origins of the Native American traditions and legends back in this time as well. This land that we now call Detroit was inhabited by all sorts and kinds of spirits, ghosts, entities, and specters. The Native Americans have legends for everything, as you know, as I know, being half Native American myself. And all of these legends are said to come from somewhere. They're not just product of the wild Native Americans' imaginations, right? Any more than the full-bodied apparitions I see on an almost daily basis are a product of mine. They didn't make these tales up either to scare their children into staying close or listening to their parents, even though it did help. There were many lessons to be learned from these stories, yes, but they came from somewhere very true. They came from the actual sightings of and dealing with the entities. The red dwarves are powerful nature spirits who are said to protect the lands they inhabit very, very fiercely. They can be either mischievous or downright evil when it comes to humans, and which sort you encounter is really pure luck, as it depends on the particular dwarf you run into on your unlucky travels through this land, through any land really, because they're not just in Detroit, they're all over the world, but there just seems to be like a centralized colony of them here for whatever reason. I say unlucky because it's never a good thing when you encounter a fairy that could be extremely evil and have a deep and ingrained hatred of our race. They're known to be more bloodthirsty than most of their brethren, too. Once the Europeans settled the colonies, the images of these fae started to shift a little bit. They were no longer seen as only mischievous little creatures that flitted about in the woods and forests. Oh no. Now they were actually being seen in the more urban and even sometimes suburban areas. Their true nature was quickly being revealed. They were described as, quote, small, child, humanoid creatures with yellowish green fanged teeth, red old man faces, and glowing red eyes, end of quote. Their clothes were raggedy and dirty. Pointed hats, fur boots, and red rags were the norm to see them in. Sometimes, though, they don't bother with clothes at all, and they're seen completely naked, covered in a mattish, reddish brown fur like hair all over their body. Think Sasquatch, but on a much smaller scale. Once again, I reiterate, as I always do, that some of you may think all of this is simply the stuff of myths and legends. But let me assure you, if you ask anyone who has seen one of these creatures, or anyone who knows anyone who has seen one of these creatures, they will definitely beg to differ. It's a terrifying ordeal. Their hatred of humans just oozes and seeps out of them, seeming to come from their pores or something. They were first seen by the native tribes of the area, as mentioned before. One of the earliest reports is from 1701. And mind you, this is one of the earliest reports ever recorded, written. Do you know what I mean? Like ever written down, because there were reports going through the native tribes for centuries before this. The sightings and dealings with them have been going on for as long as time, and almost seems like it started happening, these sightings, when the earth itself formed the Motor City. So in 1701, the founder of Detroit, whose name was Antoine de la Mothe Cadillac, and I think I pronounced that wrong too, it's the Jersey tongue, I don't know what to tell you, was having a ball. Literally, on March 10th of that year, he was throwing one of those fancy schmancy ball parties that rich people always had back then. As Antoine and his wife were greeting guests, they noticed someone who really didn't belong in their huge, glorious mansion. It was a fortune teller who had a black cat sitting right on her left shoulder. I assume, because there were no images of her, that she looked like one of those old hag ladies, crooked nose, glass eye, big old wart right there, and weird purpley looking mouth, green teeth, the image I'm thinking of here. But there was no description of her or picture other than a fortune teller with a cat on her shoulder, and that's a direct quote. For whatever reason, Mr. Cadillac decided to go ahead and let this old woman read his palm. She told him that while he was destined to start a great city, it would be a place of great strife and bloodshed. She also warned him to pay heed to the Nain Rouge or Red Dwarf and to not upset it, as it would certainly be his downfall, which the skeptical leader most likely laughed off, probably kicked the woman out of his house, and went about to make fun of her with his friends. So, once the city was finally founded, Antoine and his wife went out for a stroll through the colony. They wanted to see how the city was thriving and how people were doing and how things were going up close, right? This was a huge investment, I'm sure. They walked around all night, and while walking past one particular park, they heard a couple of the citizens complaining. So they stopped to hear what the complaint was to see if maybe they could do something, surreptitiously to kind of fix this. One of them said he had seen one of the tiny red dwarves, and he believed it was a sure sign of terrible things to come for the city and perhaps for the people in it. As they heard this, Antoine and his wife just laughed and giggled. They were amused. This amusement wouldn't last long, though, because within a week, while out on one of their nightly strolls, it had become a routine. They loved taking in the air, I guess. Antoine and his wife reported that they had seen a deformed, quote, dwarf-like creature, end of quote, covered in blackish red fur with beady, fierce red eyes. It came out of nowhere and kind of stumbled into their view. They said it had crooked and horrendous looking teeth. He allegedly bashed it over the head with a cane and told it to go away, but it laughed at him, kind of wiped its blood and looked at it, and then kind of scampered off, all the while still laughing at him. So the being hit over the head with a cane had no effect on this thing. After this, Antoine was supposedly beset by a myriad of misfortune, eventually dying alone and penniless. But was this a result of a cocky and narcissistic man who refused to respect the things he didn't understand, or was it because of the magic of the Red Dwarf? Around the same time as Cadillac lost everything, the same little beast, or at least it was assumed to be the same one. I don't know if it was. I mean, for me, it had to have been. I don't know if it's it's just confusing, guys. Like, is this the same specific dwarf, or is it like a whole species? I think it's more likely it's a whole species and they pretty much look the same. So anyway, around this same time, a farmer in the area claimed he saw the same little creature on top of his barn trying to get his horses all riled up in the middle of the night. Another farmer in the area said he would see it not only peering into his window at night, which totally creepy, right? He also claimed it would steal his chickens right out of the pen and eat them. These kinds of sightings, especially from the local farmers, were scattered all throughout the city right around the same time, this 1701 through 1736, right? There's another sighting, though, which is much more well known, or maybe more well known at least to the people in the city who are either familiar with and or who wholeheartedly believe in the legends. This happens on July 30th, 1763, when 250 British troops assembled in preparation for a surprise attack on a rebel force made up of a confederacy of Native Americans that had defied British power and post war policies in an insurgent uprising known as Pontiac's War. Cadillac, Pontiac, Detroit. And this war was named after one of the native tribe's fiercest leaders, the Odawa chief Pontiac. You have to understand this war was completely unlike anything the Americas had ever seen. Soldiers from each side going into villages and slaughtering innocent women and children, attacking random civilians, men, women, and children alike. They were executing their war prisoners just willy nilly, which back then was completely unheard of, especially to be done without prejudice and totally unceremoniously. It was a violent, bloody rebellion, and the British obviously wanted it to end as quickly as possible because bad publicity is not better than none, I guess, in this point when you have babies being slaughtered, right? As I said, they were most likely concerned with all of the backlash for all of the civilian casualties. On this day, though, in what would end up being called the Battle of Bloody Run, the British forces crept up along a tributary of the Detroit River called Parents Creek on their way towards Pontiac's encampment. They were hoping to launch a decisive surprise attack against the chief, but they were surprised to find a large contingent of 400 angry Native American warriors waiting for them and ready to fight. The ensuing battle would drive the British back and was said to be so bloody and vicious that the aforementioned creek ran red with blood for weeks, changing its name to Bloody Run. Nearly 60 British soldiers would die in this bloodbath. That was a lot. One of them was Captain James Dalyell, whose corpse was decapitated with its head being paraded around for weeks on a stick through the town for all to see. Was it a warning or was it just a pissing contest? I don't know. It was marched through the bloody streets and into the back alleys, which were also running red with blood. It was absolutely macabre, it was sickening, and it was very hard to read. The air smelled like blood and death. Eyewitnesses, including many of the soldiers themselves, would claim that they had seen one of the Nain Rouge or Red Dwarves sitting upon the banks of the creek right before the battle. It was as if it was claiming a front row seat and waiting with glee to witness the carnage. In the aftermath of the fighting, the fearsome little dwarf was then allegedly witnessed frolicking and dancing among the corpses, which littered the ground, and it was wading and swimming and kind of doing this swim dance thing and in the bloody river. The creature's demeanor was described as joyous and elated, like it was celebrating all of this bloodshed of humans. The reputation of the red dwarves for being a kind of harbinger of disaster continued into the days leading right up to the Great Detroit Fire of 1805, which would burn most of the entire huge city right to the ground. In the days leading up to this fire, these little red dwarves were reportedly seen numerous times by all different kinds of citizens all over the place, with some even claiming that they saw the evil little red men dancing in the flames when the disaster struck, seemingly impervious to the fire itself. Then the creature was seen again in the aftermath of the War of 1812 when the defeated General William Hull reported seeing it peering from the fog on the sidelines and grinning with its disgusting teeth during his surrender of Detroit in 1813. So a general now is coming forward. He would later be historically executed for military incompetence. Sightings and scary encounters with the Nain Rouge would continue into later years as well. In October of 1872, one woman named Jane Dacey claimed that she had just come back to her house on Elizabeth Street from running errands when she encountered what she described as a creature with, quote, blood red eyes, long teeth, and rattling hooves, end of quote, lurking in the darkened room. The encounter was so shocking to her that she like passed out and she ended up bedridden for some time. Women were known to have such fits back then. In 1884, another woman claimed to have been savagely attacked and beaten as she walked along the street at night by a beast that looked like, quote, a baboon with a horned head, brilliant, restless eyes, and a devilish leer on its face, end of quote. With the coming of the 20th century, the malevolent little beasties were still up to their tricks. These creatures were even reported numerous times before the 1967 uprising in Detroit. This was kind of an epidemic of race riots. One witness even described one of the creatures doing backflips and cartwheels right down 12th Street, which was where the police raid of a bar happened. And that was what started this entire thing, like what set the entire thing off. I mean, the nation was on edge for what years, months before this, but this one attack on 12th Street of the police lighting this bar up is what set off this entire thing. And allegedly the red dwarves were there dancing and flipping. In 1976, two utility workers reported seeing the red dwarves climbing up a utility pole just before one of the worst snowstorms in the city's history rolled through, again in March of that year. They thought it was a child climbing the pole until it leapt from the very top of the pole all the way down to the ground. And they could actually see that it was the legend. It was the Nain Rouge, the red dwarf. They had been familiar with the legend, they had heard of it. There are even recent sightings of the red dwarfs in Detroit. In 1996, the Michigan Believer ran a story about a pair of witnesses who claimed they had just exited a nightclub when they saw a tiny, hunched over man wearing what looked like a filthy, tattered old fur coat flee an attempted car burglary while making a cawing sound similar to a crow. Even as recently as 2017, there have been reports of the Nain Rouge. There was a commenter on Reddit called the Infamous 99, and he gave two accounts of what appears to be the creature. So, in these two accounts that he gave, he said there are two stories from two different people who didn't even know each other. His great aunt told him that when she was little, she had saw a gnome on several occasions. It would stare at her and even followed her. And the last time she had seen it was at a funeral home, and it wanted her to follow it into a cellar. She felt by that time it was evil, like it just kind of gave off. And think about how it looks. I mean, even if you're not a little kid, I mean, a little kid is probably more likely to follow, but I don't know. So she told this to him and his sister as an old woman, and she looked really disturbed even as an old lady. She said she'd carried a cross with her ever since she first seen this thing. He said his sister and he were very young, so they didn't really get a lot of the details. But one regret he has was never finding out anything more. He said his family believed her, at least believed that she had thought that she had saw it, like that she believed that she had seen this creature multiple times. They go on to say that no one is alive that would have any more information about the sighting or encounter. So, unfortunately, by not getting all of the details, the encounter kind of died with the old woman. This Redditor goes on to say that the next person to tell them a related account was a close friend's older sister. She said she was chased by a quote evil little creature end quote at her bus stop. She described it as a gnome, and my friends would clown on her about it. And they go on to say, now that I'm older and more mature, I'm very much interested in the supernatural. I definitely regret not listening to her. And these are not quotes, guys. I'm paraphrasing. She had a hard time talking about it and would get upset when they would joke about it as well. She said it was very small, smaller than she was as an 8-year-old girl. It had white fur and a pointy red hat. And the Redditor wants to know, is there anyone else who has their own versions or tales of this myth or urban legend? We know that cultures all around the world have their own versions of these little myths and legends of fae folk, fairies, gnomes, trolls, and beyond, right? I mean, it's definitely not just limited to that. Some people think that the Nain Rouge are actually misunderstood and that they're harbingers of doom, just like the Mothman when it kept appearing all over Virginia where the Point Pleasant Bridge collapsed. I'm not too familiar with the Mothman case, but I know that some people believe that the Nain Rouge is something like this. I do not. I believe they are literally reveling in our pain and suffering in one of the biggest and most crime ridden cities in the United States. As you guys know, if you've been following my channel or anything I've ever discussed anywhere about the Fae, dwarves are definitely fairy creatures, and I wholeheartedly disagree with the notion that they're similar to the Mothman, like I just said. Perhaps specific types could be the harbingers of disaster and doom that many people seem to think they are, but that's just a really big maybe. There's no evidence to support it as far as my research goes. Could it actually be that they're simply misunderstood? I mean, they can't help the way they look, and perhaps their shenanigans are to scare us humans away before we get caught up in something deadly, but I don't think so because they're there before, during, and after. It's not like they're helping us during, like, they're like, hey, get out of here. I'm going to do something scary. And then you come along anyway. And they're like, let me help you. No, they're like constantly celebrating. So I don't think so. I guess we'll never know. But as far as I do know, there are still many sightings to this day of the Nain Rouge in Detroit and also all over the country and the world. Actually, the sightings of the Nain Rouge are growing, but town by town, city by city, all throughout the United States and Canada especially. It's just highly unusual to have such a high concentration of one type of fae in one single city, even if it's a large city. Usually, yes, in the forest they live in, there are places where you can find thousands or more. This requires, usually by accident, crossing over into one of their realms by way of some kind of portal. That's all I have for you today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. So much more content coming up. If you enjoyed spending this time with me, please give this video one of those big thumbs up that you see right down there. Spread the love by sharing this video. Do you have any encounters with the Nain Rouge? If you have any encounters or experiences with the supernatural and or paranormal, including the red dwarves, please email me at
That is still
GemmaJadeParanormal@gmail.com
good for this
and let me
day.
know,
You
and
got
I will put it
encounters,
in a
please send them.
listener encounters video. I think we're already coming up on number 9. It's crazy. Thank you guys so much. Check out the description box, guys. Don't forget, if you want links for campfire stories every Friday night from 7 to
Which no longer
whenever
exists.
p.m. Eastern time on Missing Persons and Mysteries, it's Stemma in the house with the panel. If you can't catch it live, come catch it afterwards. Sunday nights, we have Fireside Chat from 7
Which is
to
no
8
longer
or
in
9 p.m.
existence.
Eastern time, again on Missing Persons and Mysteries, again with Stemma. And we may have something really cool coming up for Fireside Chat going forward a few weeks. I'm not really sure about the details, but I'll keep you guys posted. As of right now, it's the usual things, stuff, things. A show about nothing, all about Gemma. Gemma's a motor mouth, blah, 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 blah. And Wednesday nights, right here on the Gemma Jade channel, Steve Stockton and I do one card oracle readings.
Those days are done gone. Let me close this out. Ah, I clicked the wrong one. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, actually, the Red Dwarfs thing and the stuff up in Detroit, it goes way back. It's good stuff. This was many moons ago, Cindy. Not many moons ago, but it was a while back ago. I don't know if you know who Steve Stockton is. She used to write for Missing Persons and Mysteries. And her and Steve used to stream together until they had kind of a falling out. But that's all I can really say. But it's good. But yeah, those are done. Oh, those, yeah, were really the gemstones. Well, we used to be the Misfit toys, the Misfits. But we moved into the gemstones just when she started really doing her oracles by herself. I wonder if the red dwarf is the same as the red cat. You know, I asked that question before, and people seem to think in some ways it is. I don't know. I would say there's something different, but I really never have looked into some of the red cap stories. But the red cap stories are basically gnomes, you know, the red cap, right? But I kind of think they are. But the red dwarf seemed to be like she's some like this, the one this guy saw. He said it was like this off red, furry little critter, had pointed ears. We said it just didn't look right, but it moved really fast. And they were out checking out the old Ford plant. This was moons ago. He said it would run in and out of the building, and it was really fast and really small and very creepy. It gave off this kind of, he said it gave off kind of like this chill down your spine feel. He said it just made you feel uncomfortable when you saw it. But it seemed to have followed them. They'd go to one side, it'd all of us show up running around. And he said it moved really fast. And he said when it stopped, it seemed to be like it was vibrating. It was really creepy. I have that written down somewhere, that story. Yeah, he said it was really creepy. Now the red caps, I'm taking it as you're talking like the gnomes with the pointed red hats, right? Vixen, is that what you're talking about on those? That's something we should bring up to Gemma. That'd actually be a good conversation. It could be when you finally get you on here. Just give me a minute and we'll get you on, Vixen. I'm dealing with some stuff right now, so I'm just happy I'm just glad I came on tonight. I don't know how long it will last, but it was good to be. I needed to be on. It was good to be on Tuesday. I wanted to stream Wednesday, but everybody was like, man, just chill. Take the night. I've basically been on the phone all week, taking care of family, trying to sort things out. But yeah, is that what you meant, Vixen? The red cap is like the pointed red hats that some of the gnomes wear? Oh, you popped something up. I'll wait till it shows up on my StreamYard because I can read that better. In the red cap stories, they are thoroughly evil. The red was the blood. And if it ever dried, the creature would die. Oh, really? I've never heard. When I heard the red cap stories, I always thought of gnomes with the red pointed hat because they use blood for their red dye. So that's what I was thinking, but I never heard that little twist. Interesting. But that's a discussion we can bring up with Gemma because I didn't know that little twist there. Interesting. I learned something new. I've learned a couple things new tonight. I like that. Things I can look into. Especially with the way this weekend I've been pacing. I haven't really slept at all. You could probably tell. I took a power nap about Friday, yesterday, for about 3 hours. I actually slept. Dad said it was 1,000 miles a minute. He said you were asleep. My encounters were many years ago. Nothing recently. I haven't been in the woods for years. Well, since I just dislocated your hip. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I'm ready to go camping. I'm mobile. If I can go, I'll go. I want to get a camper. I still want to get a camper. But that's interesting. I like that little twist. I never heard that. So I've learned something new. I never heard about the blood drying and they die. That's wow. I didn't know that one. I wonder if Gemma does. I'm sure she does. I have to go look through her book again. It's been a while since I've read the first one. And I like her books, folks. Those listening, if you haven't seen her books, go to Amazon, check out the GemmaJadeYT books. All of them are good. I love them all. Now I got a collector's item because I have one with still Steve Stockton's name on it. They've reprinted them without his name now, so it's like I got a rarity now. Those who have those books have got a rarity. I hope everybody is having a good night. I got 7 people watching. Thank you, folks. Appreciate it. I loved all the folks that was in here before we started the video. Thank you so much for coming. Like I said, what time we got now? Yeah, I'll probably take it about 1:30. Keep it simple tonight. And hopefully get back in the groove next week. I may have to have, luckily everything will be at night and I can take care of my little bro during the day. It'll be good. Maybe it'll be on a day where I can come in and stream afterwards to cheer me up. I don't know how long it's going to take to get him up here, so. Got paperwork, so we got to do that first. So anybody got anything fun planned? Oh, I'm going to have to keep that. I'm going to fix it. That is something I want to bring up when we do have you on. Because I've never heard that. That just kind of blows my mind about the drying of the blood when they die. I love that. I want to know more about that. and why that, how that came to be, or how they find that. One of those people, because I didn't know that was something new. Because I knew they use blood to use or die for red. So, and people think these creatures are just happy. I know there's some gnomes and some elves that are good, according to lore, but I've always heard nothing but strange and scary stories about most of them. So, a lot of my family are from Appalachian Mountain. My grandpa Griffey told me a couple good creepy stories about little people. So did my grandma. The little people, that's what they called them, little people. And then like the red dwarves. Now I've heard more and more stories over the last few years about people now seeing them more prevalent in cities now. It's like my ex-wife, every spring, either in her yard or in her neighbor yard, right in the front yard, they always get a ring of mushrooms. I always tell them, don't let the kids stand it. Pause, silent break, sorry. But yeah, and then she makes her husband mow him down. She even sent him over. Eddie was telling me she sends her over to mow down the ones even in the neighbor's yard. I don't know if that's a good idea, but that's what she does. I scared of the one day when I was over there, and we saw, kids were playing around one, and one of the little ones was getting ready to get in the middle of it. I'm like, no, 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 no. I went over and grabbed her. Why are you doing that? I said, that's a Fae circle. You don't want them in that. Shows up missing. No, no, don't let them go in there. And then I destroyed them, and that probably pissed them off. But yeah, and now see, that's something. When I was younger, when I first started noticing that how much I really saw stuff, I think that's were the first things I saw, because I see these little shadows following around. I mean, they were like little shadows following the kids on the playground. I mean, there wasn't like a lot of them. There would be like 2 or 3 of them following certain kids, and I'd see them off and on through the years. Wonder if there's little people of the city, or, I think they are in the city. I'm in some of the kind of the country. What country is it? Greenland, Iceland. One of them, they actually have areas where it's like a little wooded area out in the middle of the city, and it's kept for the Fae. So, yeah, I'm sure they're in the city too. I figured the cities were once woods. Maybe some never left. Because I know there's, I'm beginning to think that may be what they call city Fae and wood Faes or forest Faes now. Because, cities are almost everywhere. I mean, not as much. People don't realize there's still a lot of land in this country alone that has never been walked on. Like those areas in this country alone that Native Americans will not even go near. So that would be interesting to see. Yeah, there is places. I'll have to later, maybe Wednesday night, I'll bring in some of the pictures I've seen. I think like Iceland does it, or Greenland. Some places in the Netherlands, Germany, I know has places that are like, it's really weird. You'd be driving and there'd be like this beautiful green patch, and there would be a sign, fairies or gnomes habitat. It was wild. I've seen the pictures. I had a friend that was, my daughter's, in fact, my daughter's husband was stationed in Germany, and he said that he saw things like that I asked him, I said, why didn't you take pictures and send them to me? You knew I was into this stuff. And I never thought about it. Like, ding dong. But you can't go look for them. Now I got to remember all the countries that have them. Most of them are where there's a lot of those legends. I know there's places in Russia that has them. That you just walk along and all of a sudden it's like a fairy dome habitat. I just call them Fae habitats because I category them all together. So now, I think, Ryan, you still here or did you have to go? I want to make sure I catch his stream. Now remember, Gemma's got Oracles tomorrow night, 7:15. And then I think next week we'll be back to Friday. Monday is for 11 and noon, and I forgot what they were going to be. And she hasn't posted them yet. And she'll do that tomorrow. At 11 and noon, or 11 o'clock premiere is for everybody. And then our noon is members only, but it's usually everybody. Anybody can get in and watch that one. She leaves it for all for like 24 hours. If she does it that way this time. Then Tuesday talk at 1. And then me Wednesday night. I should be here at 10. And then I believe that next week, Pixie will be streaming at 8. And then I believe Friday will be Oracles. The first story I ever read about the red cap was out of Scotland. A man known as the Wolf of Lavrock, a man who kept a red cap to take care of people he didn't like. Ooh, interesting. If you can find that story, send it to Gemma. Ooh, I bet that piqued her interest. Kind of piques mine. I hope she is too. She was in chat Tuesday, but I really didn't my mind was kind of preoccupied. So I saw her in chat. I did say hi to her. She seemed to be doing okay, but I didn't see all of her conversations. So, and I haven't in the last 2 times I went back to look, her chat. Tuesday chat wasn't posted yet. I'm kind of hoping it is now. I'm pretty sure it is. I want to go back and watch chat and see if she said how she was feeling. But I hope she's feeling better too. I'll email her too. I just haven't had time. Like I said, I have either I've been on the phone or I've been texting people, trying to find family on his ex-wife. We hadn't talked to his ex-wife for years. His 3 kids are through her, and we didn't have a way to find the 2 of them, and we weren't sure if his middle son, little Kevin, who I knew more probably better than any of them, because he was always with Kevin, his dad. We called him Big Kevin and Little Kevin. So we were hoping he headed home. So we had to find them. It's just crazy, but made contact with everybody, knows now. Everybody's healing. Talked to his daughter tonight for about an hour. She's such a sweetheart. She's grown up so big. It was so good to talk to her, because last time I saw her was when she was 12. Probably a little younger than that. But yeah, I've just been doing all that. So I'm hoping she's doing good. I've had Ed on my mind, to Neil. I've had you on my mind. I got a lot of you guys on my mind. Even with all the craziness I'm going on. Of course, Gemma. And if you're watching or sneaking a peek, Gemma, I hope you have a good night, hon. She should be at Mom's now. Or she's been at Mom's. She did text me good night. She texted me while I was talking to Mandy. So I did say good night to her. She was tired. Anything going on this weekend other than Gemma? Anybody doing any good stream Sunday night? I'm hoping I usually catch Pit Chat with Wayne and Michelle. They do a Sunday night show. Ryan, I'll catch him Monday. When I'm done with Gemma's video, I'll go over and watch it. I'll tell you what, I was a little bummed he was on this one stream, and I was really bummed he didn't have too many viewers, people watching. I'm telling you, they had a great conversation. I mean, they hit the gambit. They really stuck to the Wendigos and Skinwalkers. It was a good conversation. I was really pleased. It's like, dang, I was trying to get the word out to, hey, man, that's a great conversation going on here. You'll see more family at funerals. Well, see, here's the thing. When he comes up here, it will just be me and his brothers. We don't know of his family. He didn't get along with a lot of people, and he was really estranged from his family down in Florida. So it was like I had to literally go looking for these people because we had lost total contact with his other two kids and his ex. And we knew the only way we'd find the other two kids and Kevin, because he disappeared too. Little Kevin disappeared after they left here. And so it was kind of a task for like 48 hours of me trying to help the coroner find everybody, because I couldn't do anything because the kids have to sign off on him. So because they're heirs. It was crazy. Sunday I usually watch Cisco. Murdoch, yes, she has some interesting content. Yeah, I've kind of missed out on Cisco lately. Maybe I'll go check out her. I know I'm subscribed. I was subscribed to. I have to go back and check. Probably not anymore. There's some people. I used to be like once or twice a week when I can't sleep on nights. I can't really bad. I would try to catch up on all my YouTube, and sometimes I didn't realize how many people I was subscribed to because I was missing a lot of live stream. So I just cut it back. It's just too hard to keep up with everybody. But I tried. I really did for years. But now that I'm doing stuff with Gemma, and I'm trying to help her with the Rumble and streaming with her, it's hard to go back and watch all these people. So I'm just stick with my favorites, people who I have contact with and enjoy. So I will maybe check her out. And like I said, I've always liked Wayne and Michelle. They're very nice people, very good people. And Ryan's making the circuit, so I've been trying to catch him when he's live. Every so often I sneak in and watch a little bit Spaced Out Radio. There are so many good channels, and there's so much content out there. It is hard to keep up. I mean, believe me, Vixen, I've been with YouTube since the beginning. I literally had a piece of paper with all the people I followed, and I threw it away because it was just over the years. And then, like I said, I got married and started having kids, so I didn't watch YouTube as much. And then I picked right back up again once I get divorced. And I love small channels. So if I stumble across a small channel, I'll write it down, just follow it, maybe subscribe for a while, see how they do, see if they make it. There's so much content out there. And there's good content that doesn't get the recognition it should. And it's sad because there are a lot of great content creators out there who are just not getting the views they should be getting. But the competition is fierce. That's why you want to go to all media. You're posting on here, mirror those posts over on Rumble and Odyssey or one of the other ones. Pinterest, is that one of them? And there's a couple other ones. BitChute. But yeah, I followed so many channels. This got so hard to keep up. And then there's just people I've known through the years through chat that they had channels like Brown Dwarf and everybody. I just try to keep up with them still. Brown Dwarf is always a good guy. He's a good guy. There are stuff during the day, but working I miss a lot. Yeah, I try to catch some during the day, but see, the day are busy for me anymore with taking care of him and trying to keep up a house, and I do all the running and stuff. So that's why I always say the nights are mine, especially Sundays. I try to make all day Sunday mine if I can, because I'm on the go, and I'm the person that when something happens, I'm the guy that takes care of it. And it's good because I'm in motion 24 hours a day. So it does help keep my mind busy. Plus, I like being busy. I'm a busy guy. I'd rather be busy. Sounds mean, but I'm not a good talker. But I've enjoyed doing these streams. I've had fun. You guys have been so great. The people that do come in and watch the streams, even if they don't talk, it's nice to see people. My chance to get away from the craziness. And I've grown fond of Gemma. I don't know why, but I have. So she's quite a character. We've become good buds, best friends, best friends. And I've had a good time here. You guys are fantastic. I mean, even there was a couple nights where it was just 3 of us, but we still had a good time. And I got to admit, somebody bummed me out last Wednesday pretty bad just because it just wouldn't let up. They started sounding like somebody I knew, and I felt bad, but I probably should have cut her off. But she, it wasn't as much as she needed help, as she was just complaining. And we all tried to change the subject. And it's, I get it. She needed a place to vent. I just probably let her vent a little too. No, it wasn't you, Sydney. Not at all. It was the other person that was on with us Wednesday night. I don't want to say her name because I don't want to make her mad because I do think a lot of her. But it just got carried away. And a lot of it was for Jensen because I know her. I've known her for a while. But I hope we did help her, and I hope she does get things fixed. Because God knows she needs to. But no, it wasn't you. Poor Bat Mom thought it was her, and it wasn't her either. And Vixen, you both should know who it is I'm talking about last Wednesday. Not this Wednesday, but the week ago. Yeah, I knew she was hurting, but she was also just complaining. She just wanted to go somewhere and complain. And I felt bad for her. But yeah, she Pammy, if you're watching, you know what I'm saying. I love you dearly, hon. But you gotta fix it. Complaining about it just doesn't do no good. And we tried to help. It wouldn't have been so bad if you wouldn't run in the chat. And I mean no insult if you're watching. I really do. I love you dearly, and I hope you fix the issue. I pray for all you guys. Some I pray for more than others. I don't know if we cheered up. She was going pretty good, but she did thank me at the end when I did sign off about letting her go. And I probably shouldn't have let her go that long and let her leave when she started to leave one time. But she needed to get it out of her system, and I get that. But it also puts her in a position where she gets somebody stumbles crying, you cry baby or something. And I don't want that to happen because when you go that long in a chat, eventually when somebody sees you in another chat, they're liable to say something. You know how people are. So, but no, I'm glad she thanked me at the end. And I hope it did help a little bit getting it all off her chest. But it was just, I was already going through some stuff already, and it just kind of made my night a little longer. But bless her heart, I hope she does find her way and gets everything situated. So many people out there, yes, there are. I know there are. And I do try to help what I can. And I know she was hurting. And that's one of the reasons why I just let her go as much as I could. Yeah, she was kind of getting under my skin, but I understood she was hurting. And she needed it. And like I said, she did thank me. But it was a little much. Because, it's good to get it off your chest. It really is. But when you're in a situation like that, but see, it's hard to say because I know Pammy I know her a little more than she thinks I do. And I know some of the situation that was taking place that she was talking about. That's why I kept telling her, just keep doing what you're doing. So, but I understand sometimes you just got to go somewhere and vent. And she didn't cuss or anything. She kept it pretty clean. And I love her to death. So, hon, don't be afraid to come back. I just hope you take care of what you need to. I know you're out there watching. I know you like the ghost. So you're just like everybody else, and that's okay, hon. And I'm glad you got it off your chest. It was just, maybe I wasn't in the frame of mind that night. I don't know. But I'm glad you were able to get some of that off your chest. Yeah, some of that I gotta let go. Yeah, and it goes both ways. But yeah, fixing right there is just, my brother was one of them. I lost him. There are so many people out there hurting. But there are also people out there that are hurting by their own means. And no matter what you say or do, sometimes it doesn't change. So they got to take a minute and take a breath and say, okay, I got to do this. Because we're all willing to help, but it takes the person to want to be helped or to take those steps to do that. And some people are so they're toxic. So you want to help from a distance, and I understand that because you don't want to get sucked into it. But she needed it, and I'm glad. I felt bad because I think she knew it was kind of getting to me, but I also knew she needed to get off her chest. It just was a weird night. It was just a weird night. Yeah, and that's true. And I do my best. But sometimes this kind of thing, it's not always the time or the place, I guess is what I'm saying. Sometimes there's a better way to get that stuff off your chest than in a public forum like this. Because now I do worry about somebody saying something to her in the other stream. She was going pretty good there. And not, the trolls feed off that stuff. And if they see you in another stream, they would not be surprised. I don't think she'll be bothered. She's a good person. Just has a very interesting life right now. And it's hard. I know. I don't know. I felt bad, but at the same time, I was kind of bothered by it. And I got to let some of that go. But I want her to know, because I know she does ghost, that I do care. And see, I like to make people laugh too. I try my best. My sense of humor is kind of goofy and kind of a little off the wall sometimes. But I get it. And it's good to make people smile. That's what this is all about, is to come in here and be able to forget all about that. Hey, Smoochie, what you doing? Is kind of forget all about that. And that's what I was trying to convey to her. Cheer up. Let it go. Let's move on, have some fun. Because it is important to laugh too, because sometimes that's the best way to heal. All the time. Smoochie, what are you doing? Are you behaving? Probably not. I hope so, girl. Yeah, I'm probably going to cut it here pretty soon anyways. I am going to actually try to get some sleep tonight. They were trying to talk me into taking sleeping meds last night. I was like, I don't do that stuff. You can't make me take that stuff. No. I'm a shock jock. Okay. But yeah, I won't take that stuff. But this has been the last 4 days, 5 days. Has just been insane. I have never been on a phone and text so much and looked through Facebook for people like I have in my entire life. Oh my goodness. I think my eyeballs, my bags on my eyes are worse than they ever been because I've literally either been looking at the computer, looking at phones, trying to find relatives, his, the kids and stuff, his kids. It was crazy. Just forget your problem and just laugh. Aquarius, the best sign. Oh, is your birthday? Well, you gonna come in tomorrow and get your birthday reading from Gemma? You behave yourself. Happy birthday, Smoochie. I hope you had a good one. And I hope all of you people had a good Valentine's, even if you just hung out by yourself. I made hamburgers. Yes, and no. Well, you make it what it's worth, Smoochie. You know that. You're welcome, and I do mean happy birthday. Nightmare, how you doing, good sir? You are a sir, right? I've always assumed you were. I think you told me you were, but I don't know anymore. I don't know anything anymore. After this week, I don't think I know myself. I get all through this and get him taken care of. I'll probably go run around in the woods for 2 days just to run it all off. Just listening. I'm glad you're here. It was good to see you. It's always good to see you. It's all the good to see you all. What am I saying? And Jarvis must have been out and run around. You and Jarvis are my info people. Nightmare, you know that, right? If you don't, when I say something, you don't pull something up and post it. Jarvis does. I'm glad everybody's doing good. I love you too, Smoochie. Just take care of yourself. And have a good birthday. No, I'm getting tired. My brain's tired. The problem is, I know I got dishes out there that just before I started, I could hear my brother and my son out there cooking something. So I'm probably go out and do his dishes just to keep busy, and then try to get some rest. I'm gonna try to chill, pop the headphones on, and listen to Some Dark Side of the Moon. Something I gotta relax. We love you. What time we got? At 1:30? Yeah, I'll probably cut it here pretty soon. Yeah, I'm hoping, if Edna, if you listen to this, I hope you're doing well. I'm sorry I really didn't get to chat with you Tuesday. Mark didn't make it in tonight. I hope he's doing okay. He usually pops in for a bit. And it was good to see you all. Anybody got anything interesting? Like I said, those who have wrenches, if you know people who are going to be streaming in the afternoon tomorrow, not doing Gemma's oracles, but like Sunday and stuff, please don't be afraid to post them. Ryan's going to be on a show. I'll repost that link for the show he's going to be on. He'll be on the same time as Gemma's premiere, but we can always watch both replays. So I'll probably catch Gemma's replay and go over and watch him live. Mike does that. He goes monk, as he calls it. I'm sure he's okay. I haven't seen him on Facebook either, but I give him a little bit if I don't hear, because he was pretty perky there for a while. So if I don't, I'll make sure that Gemma hasn't talked to him, because I know he also reaches out to Gemma, and if she hasn't heard from him, I'll reach out to him and make sure he's okay. I know he was taking care of people and stuff, and he does that. And I give, when you guys disappear for more than a week, like he did, then I start to worry. And we had no way of contacting him. I don't even think Gemma did until he reached out, because you can try to contact him on Facebook, but if he goes silent, he goes silent. So let's just hope he's okay. And like I said, if when I talked to Gemma and she hadn't heard from him, I'll reach out to him. I think he did pop in Tuesday. So, and he'll probably show up tomorrow night. If I know Mike, he'll show up. He's been pretty active again, so he may have taken a break trying to take care of things. Looks like I think I'm going to have to get rid of this. It's getting. I wanted to get it bushy, but it's starting to get itchy. I think the thickest I got it was like that much. I mean, I had it one time pretty thick, but it gets messy. And I'm one of those guys that I believe thou shalt not shape thy beards, as one might say. So it just goes in my hair. It just goes everywhere. My son was telling me to dye it, and I'm like, no, I earned this. Some of this is from when I was a kid, so leave me alone. But yeah, I'll check on him probably. If Gemma hasn't heard from him, I'll probably check on him during the week, especially if he doesn't show up tomorrow night. Ralph must have had the kids. He usually sticks in. Sometimes he gets busy. He's a busy man too. Yeah, I don't, like I said, Gemma worries sometimes over away, but I always try to give everybody a couple of weeks. Now, when Edna was gone as long as she was, yeah, I was worried. I was like, okay, this is not like this woman. At least stop in and say something. So I'm glad she showed up when she did. I was about ready to send the hound dogs for her. And with Mike last time, I was about ready to send the hound dogs up. I hope he'll be here tomorrow. Yeah, 7:15. I think my niece that I had talked to forever, Mandy's going to be here. She asked me to send her the link. She's actually into this stuff. I didn't know that. Actually, she's into a lot of the stuff Gemma's into. So I'm hoping she shows. I'm going to send her the link, and hopefully she'll come in. She might be watching now. I don't know. She is. Say hi. Mandy, if you're out there listening, say hi. It was good to talk to you tonight. Long time, hon. Felt good to reconnect with some of my nieces and nephews. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. I hate to do this, but I am tired. I'm mentally tired more than anything. It'll be good to hear from her. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I'm hoping Edna will be here tomorrow night. She may show up tomorrow night. I'm hoping she's resting. I know she really hated that medicine they had her on. The medication was messing with her. She seemed pretty chippy, but it sounded like she was, from what I could see in Tuesday's talk, she sounded like she was still having some problems. So I've been keeping her in my thoughts a little extra. She's been around with us for a while. Nightmare and Vixen. I mean, there's some people in this chat that have literally been with Cindy since the beginning, Gemma since the beginning. Oops. Gemma since the beginning. So, it's always good to see them, and they come and go. But there's been some more people out there. You got yourself some rest. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call it. I don't know if I'll rest, but I need to chill. I'm starting to get antsy too. I've backed off of some things to keep me from, because I've been so busy. I need to regroup again before I have played games with Little Man earlier today. When I got off, man, I had some serious set of tremors. So I'm just my body saying, dude, you get this tied up so you can chill again. But now I can catch a breath before the next round once he gets here. So, folks, thank you for joining me. Sorry, it's going to cut it short tonight, but I will be here tomorrow night with Gemma for Oracles, 7:15. Please join us. Thank you all for who just hung out and chat with me and watched in the background and enjoyed Gemma's classy video. I really did enjoy all of you. It's nice to be back. Ron Castle and the Red Cap. Yeah. Let me know, and if you can, Vixen, please, if you can send some of that information to Gemma, I think she'd really get a kick. That's something I did not know. I've never heard that before. Send that, if you would send that to her as maybe something to check into, I think she would like that. That kind of, I didn't know that. So with that said, please have a wonderful night. We'll see you tomorrow night. And I'll be back Wednesday and Tuesday talk and premiere video on Monday. But tomorrow night's the big one because she loves her oracles. It's one of her favorite nights. Please have a wonderful, wonderful night and a wonderful Sunday. And maybe I'll see you around Sunday night in chats. And I'll see you guys on the flip side. Much love.